Typically we find that our clients are originally from the aid and development community, charities, governments who needed to make payments into the developing world. The reason for that being they had operations in the sense of projects on the ground and they needed to fund these projects. This might have been a hospital in Bangladesh who needed to pay for the doctors or the nurses. It needed to pay for equipment, and those payments were traditionally something they would do through a bank, and we tried to develop a product so they could do it more efficiently. A long time ago, when the financial markets in certain countries weren't developed enough, some of the aid development agencies actually had to bring cash into the country. Once developing countries and emerging markets evolved and their financial systems developed, it was possible for us to actually make transfers into the country at the beginning in US dollars, and what we like to do today is to do in local currencies because there is a number of advantages doing it that way. Our team makes payments to 175 countries, 150 different currencies, and a lot of payments go to places like Indonesia and Malaysia and Asia, China of course, because those are the places where economic activity is very strong at the moment. We make payments as well for our charitable communities to Africa, to places from the south in South Africa to Morocco in the north, from Tanzania in the east to Burkina Faso in West Africa. Here in the United States and the Americas, we make a lot of payments to Central and South America. They come to us because we have a truly global product. A lot of the clients only want to go to one resource and execute all the payments. They don't want to go to several providers. And there's a number of reasons why we think we can do it better too. We only do global payments, right? We really focus on this product. We are an independent service provider who can choose agents and banks we use in country independently. We are not married to a particular bank or organization. So in some countries you will find us use big international banks, in other places you will find us use small local banks. And this gives us the opportunity to really pick and choose the best provider rather than have to go with one which is maybe dictated by the company you work for. We really only make institutional payments. We don't handle any cash, we don't handle any checks. We don't have physical offices in any of those places, right? We are really a wholesaler. We are almost like a correspondent bank. I have to clarify, we are not a bank, but we are almost like a correspondent bank where we make a network available to our clients. We don't handle any clients as retail clients. All our clients are institutional. There might be aid and development, there might be in government, there might be a corporation, but certainly no individuals. There's two significant parts to every transaction. The first part is to find the best possible price for the client. So they will call several banks, institutions of our agents in the country, and we'll try to find the best price. And then there's the second part where the operations team will make sure that this payment goes there on time and that the full amount arrives when it gets there. It is a technology-driven process. Of course, all the people in our various offices speak to the banks on a daily basis over the phone, sometimes follow up whether the file has actually arrived, whether the technology works on the other end, and maintaining that personal relationship is extremely important to make sure that the bank works with us as a very close partner. So we operate out of 3 main offices in Singapore, London and New York, and we have a team of people in each of these offices who does speak the language of the client, who executes the payment, but speaks the language as well of the bank and the beneficiary of where the payment goes. Our people here in New York all speak Spanish and Portuguese because we make a lot of payments to Central and South America. And for Brazil we need to speak Portuguese, for all the other countries we need to speak Spanish. We have our own bank accounts in more than 150 countries from where we process the payments. This gives the clients a big opportunity in how quickly he receives the funds, and that we can manage to process and pool smaller payments together. You can imagine if you make a payment of $50 to Bolivia, it is a very difficult process to get such a small payment into a country. But if you have 500 payments of $50 and you want to bring it to Bolivia, it is much easier to cooperate with the bank to get these payments there. The people who work in the New York, Singapore and London office actually have to travel to these countries and, adjust to the changing situations in the country and speak to the banks there and be always on top of what is happening, because that is what we really sell to our client, the knowledge of the local market and that we know that market very well. we have banks as our clients who already make payments. Obviously banks do that all around the world, but maybe they have lately decided that they want to expand the number of currencies offerings they do. So maybe they do only 50 currencies at the moment, but they would like to do all 150 or so which exist. They then outsource part of that payment process to us, so we do 100 for them, they do the other 50 themselves. The exciting part about the business is that it originated actually with the aid and development group of clients who had a natural need to make payments into these countries. It then, because of globalization and corporations investing in these countries, building production facilities in developing countries, having call centers in India, it more and more leaned into a corporate product which was used by corporations in Europe or in the United States. From here, which really excites me now, it moves into the e-commerce space, into the internet. Because now we make our technology and our ability available to organizations who need to make payments from the developing world or into the developing world as a supplement to the commercial transaction which happened over the internet. So if you have somebody who develops an app for a phone, he needs to get a royalty for that development. And we built the technology which lies under the commercial transaction to enable this person to receive the payment.